What's wrong with you guys? When is this gonna end?
You didn't flush the toilet, did you?
Yeah, sure I did.
Why did you flush the toilet?
So I don't want to spread my germs.
Good job. Yeah, good job.
You're not my buddy.
Listen, we're the show that cares from a messaging point of view, because always put that lid seat down. If your lady friends, your male friends, whoever's friends, family members, put the seat down. Which leads me to our new sponsor, Charmin. Working on it, boys. Working on it. All right. Well, we're in star mode. And you're saying, what's star mode here in the Midwest? Some would say it's storm mode, but because of the Midwest accent, it's particularly in Missouri, we say storm mode. So David Bianco was going to join us, but he's getting a generator online in advance of the Texas storm, because, you know, they have power grid issues in Texas, still not remedied, I guess. And so, yes. And so, Jason, I don't know if in your domicile with your situation right now, you guys generated it up? Are you ready for this? I mean, it could be the storm of, it could be Snowpocalypse 2.0.
I got the Victrola ready, you know.
Cranking.
We'll be spinning some 78s.
Get out the shellac. Let's go.
That's right. One song per side, Arnaldo. How do you feel about that? 78, man.
Shout out to Joe Boussard up there or down there. We don't know where Joe went, but in the afterlife, he's 11 to 78 mentions.
Our local newscaster calls it Snowmageddon.
Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
Well, what's the thing called? I was making supper tonight with my wife, and it's like the French toast thing. Like, people, you know, obviously storm the grocery stores to get bread, eggs, milk, but there's like a name for it. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. Like, there's a,
I don't know.
It's
batteries.
Like yeah. They just load up because they think it's like
eggs and bread. I don't know.
Yeah, there's something. It has to do with the four core of like what you use to make French toast. I do remember that, but there's some kind of saying for it. And yeah.
Well, yeah, the key ingredients are bread, milk, eggs, and I guess butter if you want to add. So those are really the four ingredients.
And that's the four things that generally, I don't know about the butter piece, but
sugar.
Yeah, those are the things that people storm. Like when they show, you know, your local news shows everyone's prepared, the grocery store, all the whole bread aisle is just emptied. And I don't know about you guys, but in my X amount of years on this planet, there's only been like one, maybe two times in my life that we were truly snowed in for multiple days, or we couldn't get out like the settlers to actually get, you know, food and nourishment and all that sort of thing. These things are just always overblown. But toilet paper, yes, toilet paper. There's another one that is always in short supply on these storms, because you think you may not leave. It's like like literally Snowpocalypse, the apocalypse.
That if you shop at Costco.
Well,
it's really hard to run out of toilet paper and paper towels.
Oh yes.
I missed the days when it was like cigarettes, beer, pizza rolls, and maybe like a roll of paper towels. That's what I miss. Not this adult thing.
We can bring it back, Chris. If you don't listen, it's never too late to get some rolling papers, do your own tobacco roll. I mean, you got time on your hands.
Yeah, true.
All right, let's see who's in the chat. Maybe the chat can help us out with this French toast situation. We've got this is Pete Music in the house. Hello, Royce in the house. Royce, do I have you wrenched up? You're so kind to send us a supportive. I gotta wrench you up, my friend. You sent us a nice little dono last time he popped in. So Royce, Sunday nights, Royce does a live stream video podcast with the Horsemen. I think it's the Four Horsemen. If I'm wrong on that, Royce, tell me. But Michael Nolan will be on there. Some other faces you know. But anyway, nice guy. Nice presentation. Good to see you here. Who else is here? Grasshopper TV in Canada. Good evening. Paul McClellan. Hello. How are you? Travis, not Axel Foley. I see what you did there. You put Axel in there to throw people off your scent. From bill collectors. Bill collectors, right, Travis? I know how it is. Good to see you. The Tap House, Richard's Vinyl Tap House. Good evening. I'm wearing so I'm already getting flack on the Lakers hoodie. There's a big Lakers story. I'm trying to stay topical about the Bust family exploding with this Lakers sale, but we don't talk sports on this show. Me and Chris talk privately, scratches, like the sports itch, and then we just talk records for 2 hours. So there's a method behind the madness. Alex, Beer and Vinyl, good evening, sir. BK86, Ola, Surface Noise crew, and everyone. Look at that. Louis, Vinyl Latte, hello. And I thought having to wear a sweater in Florida was those Floridians and Californians. It's 60 degrees. Let me put on my North Face parka. It's downright balmy. It's 60 degrees. Nate Bouchard is here. God damn it, it's Thursday again. Can we put that on a t-shirt? That might work. I don't know. We're still, home office is kind of working things out. We'll see how it goes. Jeff is here from Vinyl Record Info. Hello, sir. Kevin, me, myself, and my vinyl. Just north of Atlanta. Hell is freezing over again. Well, I've driven through Atlanta, and the driving situation is so bad, you think you're in hell, because literally it's bumper to bumper. It doesn't matter if it's 3 in the afternoon, 7 in the afternoon, 7 in the morning. It's brutal. Stunty, good evening. Here we go. Another great topic about weight. Oh, no. Stunty. Too soon, guy. Come on. Unbelievable. Oh, he has returned. He is back. Tom Hyrant District rejoins us. The Islanders must not be playing. He says, I lived in Buffalo, New York for over a decade. All you need is beer. Or Rick James, who also lived in Buffalo, would say, all you need is cocaine. If you don't believe me, watch the Eddie Murphy Party All the Time video and the behind the scenes, and you'll find out that there was more than one kind of snow that weekend, if you know what I'm talking about. But Eddie didn't do it. It was just, Final Latte asks, I never understand why people stock up on perishables during storms. Whatever happened to canned and boxed food? Fair enough. The best name in the vinyl community at large. Depeche Commode says, hello, good evening, sir. Chicago, you know what real cold's like. That's a biblical level cold. That's why I will never complain about my snowmageddon situation here. Novice Nick, good evening. Hello. Kimbo, we got to talk about this. Your new handle at Beetle Kimbo is really off-putting. It's kind of like a fart in an elevator. Like I liked it better when you were your name, and now you've gone Beetle Kimbo, which makes me believe that you're into the Beatles, like you're one of these Beatle obsessives. Tell me in the comments below, is this a turning of the page 2026? Are you now an outed Beatle person? We need to know.
Let us know how many mono boxes do you got?
Do you sleep 3? On how many fit in a case, and how many cases do you sleep on every night? Unbelievable. Andy G is here. Good evening, Andy. How are you, sir? All right. Brian Glick, hello. All right. I'm going to get to you. Hello, this is Sound Mind Tom. Good evening. Cesar, executive producer of this presentation, is speaking his native tongue. Buenas noches a todos. You know what that means? It's time to do introductions. It's time to do. All right. Well, this is Surface Noise, the show of record, talking records, concert buddy, wearing the Lakers gold and purple. Don't adjust your set unless you have an Islanders game to watch, Tom, but I think that you don't. We're going to talk about some records. We're going to talk about topics related to records. So sit back, pop on, open that Amstel Light, your beverage of choice, a Zima, whatever really floats your boat. What was the one that get iced? What was that one? That was Smirnoff Ice. Remember those?
Ice.
There was a minute I thought those were a good idea. Literally a minute. But maybe they're still out there. All right. You see some familiar faces. Let's do some introductions, and then we'll get to the business at hand. Joined this evening by, I think you know him, YouTube sensation, the hottest star in the vinyl community, faster to 100 subs than anybody not affiliated with Norman Maslow. It is the Groove Seeker. Chris, good evening.
Oh, good evening, Chance.
How does
How you
all the
doing,
celebrity feel? Like, do you get stopped in stores now? Like, what's going on?
It's yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's I feel some jealousy coming from some of the panel. I won't mention any names, Jason Roth, but other than that, it's been good.
Sizzle. That's what I like. I like a little spice. That's as good. This is you're getting it. You're getting what it takes to be an international YouTube super duper star. Chris he was born for this. Born for the moment. But not to be outdone, the real star of the show, I'm obligated to say that once a broadcast contractually. It is Arnaldo, the channel Fidelios_frequency, a new video up, and maybe we'll talk about it. Arnaldo, good evening.
Good evening, Chance, Chris, Jason, and everyone else in the Peanut Gallery. I don't like to call it Peanut Gallery. Let's call it, the chat room.
That's the real stars of the show. Listen, if you've done this long enough or you watch these, you kind of live and die by the engagement of the room you pull. And so I appreciate we've got a good one. I dare we say one of the best ones out there. They're
also contributors of the content as well.
This is true. I mean, we feed off of their primal energy. Zima Gold. No, Zima Gold is too expensive for these taste buds. I'm like, I can't do that one. And then from Parts Unknown, in Austin, Parts Unknown, is this week 2 of the same spot, or is this every week a new location, Jason Rojas?
Could be. When you're under VC witness protection, you got to play it loose. You got to, you can't, how do I say this? Like, you want to protect the Kenny G records, okay? You want to protect
there
them.
he is. Now we're talking. Listen, you guys, I can't believe what I saw. Hang on. This is a great segue, real quick. The VC Social Club on Monday was breaking new territory talking about jazz. And I'll be damned if Joel, friend of the show, Joel, Static ATX Records, I've never seen a man so excited to talk Kenny G, Michael Bolton. I was waiting for Bobby McFerrin to enter the conversation, never did. I tried to give an assist like a, Rajon Rondo situation. Didn't happen. But it was a powerful presentation. Monday nights, 8-ish Central. If you want to watch Joel just lose his damn mind about Kenny G, I think he'll do it again, because I don't think you can keep that much bridled passion contained.
Where
Kenny G.
I'm a little concerned that we might have a whole Kenny G show soon, because Joel is due for a topic. So maybe not a problem. Chance, how long do you think it is before Jason comes to us and says, I'm going to live on a cruise ship for the next year and just travel around the world?
Secretly, I think that's where he is. I think he's on like a carnival
so?
Right now, and Kathy Lee Gifford is going to storm the room at any moment now and ask him to join the Congo line.
Right. I hope Kathy has a 0 stat gun. You know what I'm saying?
God, no weapons, weapons. Please put that away. YouTube will shut this down. Guns.
You know what this is, right?
Of course I know what
protector.
I understand it. But YouTube doesn't see it that way. They hear the G word, and next thing you know, we're starting a new channel from scratch and saying that it was our own choice.
Maybe we'll get a documentary out of it,
Too soon. I'm still healing from some of those strays, Chris. I don't know if I can. There's not enough Neosporin to take those jabs off of my flesh. Well, Surface Noise is here again. Thank you for joining us. If you've been watching for a minute, you know how we do things. If you're new to the program, welcome. We like to talk about records. We're going to talk about some current events, and we've got some topics that maybe they'll sizzle, maybe they'll fizzle. You decide. So let's get into current events. Everyone loves this video. This is probably, we should just make this the whole show and just loop this over and over again. Current events intro.
I've got news for you.
I mean, pays for itself. We had enough money in the budget after re-signing Arnaldo to outsource that video to Parts Unknown, and they did a nice job. They did a real nice job. So, current events, guys. It's an interesting week. There's not a ton. I am going to lead off one since, again, contractually obligated. Arnaldo, one current event. There was news this week. Friend of the show, I think it's safe to say, Chad Casson, friend of the show. I mean, he basically said so. He took multiple photos with us. He invited us to Chad Fest. I think, unbeknownst to others, he invited us to his personal residence. Gave us the passcode to the garage. It was an amazing one-on-one situation. But he made a video with updates about some releases, and there was one that I remembered more than anyone else. There was news on the Marleys. Arnaldo, is this the best news you've heard so far in 2026? There's a definitive release month.
Not quite.
For some of the Marleys, 2 of the Marleys in January.
There's the 2 that I didn't pre-order.
Okay.
They're the double 45s, which I did not pre-order.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't.
Oh. God.
So I got an email
so
today
close
from
to just
Acoustic.
having it.
I get an email today from Acoustic Sounds that I have a failed payment.
Uh-oh.
So I called them up and I was like, hey, I got this failed payment notice. The guy was really nice. He's like, what's your order number? So I give him the order number. He goes, wow, that's an old order number.
No shit.
I go, yeah. So I go, it's probably the Marleys. Like I just say it like that. So he looks it up. He goes, yeah, it is. So the order's been outstanding so long that my credit card expired when I first placed it. I was like, come on,
make it up.
Come on, man.
Support small business, everybody. Come on. There's little bumps in the road. We make fun of the website, rightfully so. But hey, I did see some of the chatter in the Hoffman forums. People are getting those preemptive credit card dings, so that means it's imminent. But
now remind me, was it 2 years ago or a year ago?
So I think it was 2 years ago because it was an anniversary of Marley's birthday, which was
right. I know
he was born in 54.
Was it 2 years? Oh my God, how fast time flies.
No, he was born in 45. Sorry.
So it was last year. So it's a year.
But no, but it was intended to. I thought it was maybe it was a year ago, or maybe it was intended to be released in 2025.
We got some hot takes already, guys. Breakfast King of Loyola, an established diplomat at the laundromat. He says, I'm going to laugh my ass off when all these VC members go to Chad Fest and suddenly realize that Salina is the biggest shithole in the face of the earth. Now, BK, we can't take this. I've never been, so I'm not going to cast judgment. I heard they have a magnificent burger stand, which I'm a sucker for a good old small town burger stand. So I will be happy if I do go. If I go, I'll be happy to report on the town of Salina. But let's keep it clean, guys.
Do they have any record stores in Salina?
I don't believe so. Again, preliminary research.
You have Analog Productions, and what do
you have any other options?
Vinyl Vault. You have the Vinyl Vault.
Vinyl Vault. Yeah, the Vinyl Vault. I was going to say.
It answers your question. Well, Kansas City is about 2 hours away, maybe 2.5. So if you don't mind taking the silver bus east, you can get some Kansas City going on. But oh no! Oh, Dom is asking a question, Chris. So you backed out, right? Is that a no? He held firm. Oh, Kimbo says Chatty Cakes keeps his best stuff in his sock drawer. Check it out when you go there. Hang on. Palm Pilot. Done.
Kimbo's talking about the extra, boxes.
Oh, is that where those boxes? That's where the CCR boxes were hidden in the sock drawer. Well, that makes complete sense. Another vinyl mystery solved thanks to Surface Noise. Oh man. Well, so anyway, some news, but unfortunately, it sounds like not the ones Arnaldo ordered. So I mean, we're kind of getting there.
So you ordered those, Chris? You ordered the double 45s?
I ordered everything I didn't have, so everything except Rasta and Exodus.
There he is.
Which I was reminded of that I ordered them today, which was great because I had forgotten. It's been so long.
I mean, you missed the other announcement. Like they said this is coming out, right?
Yeah.
The ZZ
Trace?
Top UHQR, right?
I believe it was pronounced Tres Hombres. Is that?
That's right. And then somebody on the Rhino High Fidelity fan club on Facebook was very unhappy about this.
Yeah, Jason, can you read that comment? Because that's a great segue, because we get chastised for all the complaining we do. This is somebody not affiliated with the program. Jason, what did this fine gentleman say?
This person named Will said, how many times are they going to reissue the same albums? The Rhino Hi-Fi is all you need. Let's do albums that haven't been reissued in the past 2 years. So sick of the same albums over and over. Well, I hate to tell you, Will, I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready for that next one step. It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, no. There it is. Fleetwood Mac. 52nd, 53rd, 52nd and a half anniversary. But Jason, I've got great news. Not only are there Tres Hombres, we've got our favorite hombre. He has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, John Bong has entered the building. Bonger, good evening.
Oh, good evening.
That comment, do you have a ghost account on Facebook under the name Will with like a white dude, Jose? Is that because that sounds like something you would say?
No, it's just the sentiment of the times, I guess.
It's a shared sentiment. Okay, fair enough. I can appreciate that. Yes, Trace has been reissued a bunch. That is an accurate statement.
It's just I'm glad that the audiophiles now are catching on to the game that people are just selling you the same thing. It's like
I have a theory on this. You guys ready for this new theory? I just cooked it up. I think the new game is collect all the audiophile represses in the same calendar year from all the labels. So you got to get like that. Fleetwood Mac's a great example. So that's the 52nd and a half anniversary edition. There'll probably be a Start Your Ear Out right at the end of the year. Get that one. You want to collect them all in a calendar year. That's the new game. What do you think about that?
But I think what's weird is that they don't even acknowledge the fact that they're repressing the same records as other labels. Because I think even before maybe 2000s tactics, but you remember it's like we're better than this other company, or I'm not saying they have to do that, but it just feels weird that they don't acknowledge that. And even I don't know how far into production they were, but when they reissue that, how long was it? Like a year ago, less than a year ago?
Well, sure. Here's one thing. I have a feeling that no one knows what everyone else is doing. And it goes back to maybe 2 or 3 years ago on a live stream with the guy from Rhino. What's his name? Patrick Milligan.
Sure.
And I believe also Kevin Gray was on there. Kevin Gray was saying one of the albums that he'd love to cut is the Fleetwood Mac self-titled. It was like almost 3 years ago after the first couple of Rhino Hi-Fis came out. And the guy from Rhino didn't even know that VMP had just put out a AAA cut by, I think, Ryan Smith. Yep. Yeah. So, and then they go ahead and do it, and then Chad does it. And I think a lot of people don't know what other people are doing, and that's why they just go ahead to try and secure the license.
But they're doing these things years out, right? Like they're locking us up, and then
I don't know. It's possible.
Well, I think this is a great opportunity for either Rhino or Analog Productions to acknowledge the deficit in jobs in the United States and create a new one when there's a motherfucker with a laptop that can Google if anyone else has done it in the last 6 months.
No, that would require a little bit of brain power.
It was just a guy with a laptop, and every time Chad shouts a title, because if the website looks like that, can you really blame him for not knowing how to use Google and just like, hey, what is Rhino doing? Oh, they already did this title. Oh, let's print 20,000 copies of this on UHQR. You know,
So
it's just
you'd think that MoFi, right? They finally realized
Yeah,
how
but-
high in demand the one step of Abraxas was, right? And they reissued it. And I think it's a double 45, right? Last year, I think it was.
yeah, but
A regular
that's the thing.
series.
Look, it doesn't really matter how much they shitted on MoFi. MoFi is still a brand that people immediately recognize with audio
So,
file, so
for
they
exa-
can do it because they are like lizards or dinosaurs doing dinosaur shit. But when another company doesn't acknowledge the fact that someone else just did it,
Yeah. I think there's no
just really weird.
communication, or they don't know, or maybe they secure them too far in advance. But again, they always do the same records that many people already have that you could find in the dollar bins, or you could
But
find.
here's the
Why
key.
don't, for example, MoFi did Sea Change, which goes for a pretty penny. Why can't they do a one step of that? Why don't they go back and get the license? They got it the first
or
time,
something in the vein,
and just do it again. Let's do a one step of that. No, they come out with Fleetwood Mac one step, which like there were 3 in the last year.
Well, I mean, it's all about the demographic, you know. I mean, I'm pretty sure MoFi understands their audience very well. So does Chad. I mean, you know, Chad, like he could possibly do another Stone Temple Pilots, you know, but
no, he won't. He can, but he won't. But that's the thing. Look, MoFi has secured bigger distribution of their titles in record stores. That's something that Analog Production, I don't think it has at that level. So MoFi can secure selling half of it to stores, and that's how they pay for everything, you know. But I don't think Analog Productions it's that way, especially with UHQRs, because most stores with like any type of box set or boxed record that goes for more than $100, they're not going to have more than one copy of the title. So that's the thing that I'm trying to say. It's just it just feels like either they know about the other reissues and they don't care, and as long as they don't mention it or acknowledge it, it's not a problem.
Well, in fairness to what Chris said earlier, I think it was Chris. Sometimes they think that their way is the best way. So in the spirit of competition, I think Chad's probably like, no, the way we do it, the way we played it, the way we make it, the engineers we use, we're going to make the best copy. So I don't know if that really registers in their orbit. Conversely, like Arnaldo was saying, like I think these labels kind of pony these guys against each other. They're like, oh, let's just issue this. Here's another request for Fleetwood Mac 75. Anyone else want it? Yes. Everyone's raising their hand. Why? Look at the movies they make now. They want the safe.
But that's
Can I defend Chatty Cakes? Can I defend Chatty Cakes for a minute?
Absolutely.
No.
All right. So he's turned a hobby into income, and regardless, I'm not done defending Chatty Cakes, please. But regardless of whatever we think, he's just going to do whatever the F he wants and market it to the same 3,500 people, and he's going to sell enough of those titles to feed the machine.
But you know what, Chris? At one point, the captain gets so cocky, he thinks a piece of ice can break down his boat.
I love the history. Way to bring in 1912, the Titanic. Look it up at home, kids.
No, Jose, listen. I would love for people to stop doing the same fucking Fleetwood Mac titles over and over again.
Whoa, Lindsey Buckingham. I know you watch the program. No shade. Sorry,
but the truth is like we're not buying it, or you guys aren't buying it. I'm buying some of it. Arnaldo's buying some of it. But there's like 2,000 other people that are like, waiting on bated breath when those things get announced, and he's.
But I have a question for the panel. Is because we're talking about this, it feels like we've been talking about this for a few years. But do you think that, I'm not gonna say like the whole spectrum out there that buys vinyl records, but the VC specifically, do you think they're still that much into buying analog production, MoFi?
I think Jason said it best. Chad has said it in his own videos. He has certain diehard customers. He knows his customers, or a lot of his customers are of his own ilk and taste and age and all that stuff. So I'm sure like any business, they want to grow. But I think that they understand, or at least he feels he understands, that he's going to sell X amount of the 3,500, and once he hits that number, it funds the next project, et cetera, and that's all he cares about.
But that's what I was saying. It's like if he knows that he can sell from his secure data of buyers like 2,000 copies, the 1,500 copies are just like easy cake for them later on, But it's just I don't really see like a bunch of people doing. Is it just like a memory flex, like when you wake up too early to go to work and you like somehow you got to work, it's just you just drove there because you know where it is? Or is it like you're actually interested? Because if somebody's doing a review here on YouTube, they're going to do a review because it's the title that you can do a review about. But is anybody buying these because they want to fucking listen to Fleetwood Mac?
Obviously there is.
Hang on a second, we've got a phone. David, yes, the generator. Oh, you want to listen to Fleetwood Mac? See, Bianco loves Fleetwood Mac, so come on, like
how much? Like I get look if I go to the US and I'm a sucker for going to buy shitty gluten-free Domino's pizza, but at one point, but that's what I do when I go to the US.
Well, you want to live, you want to keep living. I think that's about not choking to death on non-gluten. But yes,
but it's not like something that I have like on my mind like every time I go. It's just some. But is it really still like something people like get?
I think like inside the VC, I think you see like University of Vinyl, Tim, Westman has brought stuff up, Mazzy, Arnaldo, like everybody is kind of coming into like enough's enough of this shit, right? Like enough 45. We don't need a 45. Like how many times are you gonna do this title? So I think there is an undercurrent there that's occurring in the VC, the people that are public about it, but there's thousands of people that don't watch any of these videos.
Oh yeah, 200%. The VC again, the vinyl community is not just us goofs on YouTube. It's not just it's how many people we know about.
Yeah, exactly. So there's just, and look, there's completists out there, just like with anything, that are like, oh, this is the next catalog number of Acoustic Sounds or Analog Productions. Like
gotta have it. It's like Pokemon. Yeah. I mean, seriously, like think about real collectors, or not say real collectors, but collectors of other things, video games, trading cards, comic books. Like there are some people that, unless you piss in their cereal, like what happened to me with that Miles Davis Blue record, we don't need to bring that up again. But like some people just will get it because they trust the brand. They want to get them all, and that's good enough for them. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with how people want to spend their money.
Right. And look at like Bianco's not here, but like Bianco subscribes to the Atlantic 75 like I do. Bianco doesn't even open half of them because he doesn't like jazz.
That's right.
But he has them. So it's like, that's some of the mania that's going on. I guess my question for Jose, and like really anybody, not directly at you, Jose, but given your criticism of Chad or MoFi or whoever now, if they did a title you were really interested in, would you consider buying it? Or is it now you're like, the ship has sailed on this whole idea, like I'm done with the brand?
No, like for example, like I was really interested in the Flaming Lips that Rhino did, right?
That Rhino did, yeah.
But the difference with Rhino is that they do have more titles than everyone else to work with from the get-go. So stuff like the Flaming Lips, which is like, you know, the original probably goes for like 150 or whatever. It's nice to have it on a nice jacket, you know, stuff like that.
The accoutrements are nice, yes.
That excites me, but that's what normal label does, you know. Like, it's not like every single release they have should appeal to everyone,
of course,
you know. But at the same time, this audiophile thing, sometimes it just means that it doesn't matter the genre of music you're selling to them, it should be enough that it's audiophile to sell it
exactly
to you.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that.
Which, you know, it's just a little bizarre, because it could be nice, but I don't see anybody going into rabbit holes for stuff that, you know.
Well, Jose, here's the good news. In October in Salina, join us. We're going to reunite like the Power Rangers, because Chad personally invited. I don't know if he invited you. He knows you're a harsh critic. Come on up, and we can pin Chad down and ask these questions, and you'll get answers. And then we'll all go smoke a Big J in the parking lot, and everybody will be happy. Promise. All right, let's move on from this, because there's some more current events. I wish Jason was here though, because Jason, I figured, would want to weigh in on this, but there he is. Come back to us, Pizza Man. I know you're eating that big piece of pizza over there. Oh, you've got a puppy? Oh, come on.
This guy.
This guy, what a charmer. Wherever he goes, look at that. The Taco Bell dog has joined us. Celebrity sighting. Hello. Good to see you. One more current event. I was a little preemptive in my presentation, but I thought of Jason when I saw this, because Jason turned me on to an album in this collection. So, announcement, the Beach Boys box set, We Gotta Groove, the Brothers studio years. This is when Brian Wilson came back to the band. And the album that Jason turned me on to, Love You, is being reissued with a bunch of accoutrement, a bunch of bonus materials, outtakes, etc., etc., etc. Anyone buying this? Jason, I assumed you would, because, Siri is raising his hand with the Taco Bell dog. How many copies, Jason? Is this a keep and sleep situation or what?
Just one copy. Come on now. Can't be greedy.
Well, I know on the cruise ship, the closets are very small, so probably wouldn't fit. I get it.
Just one copy, right?
Just one. Yo quiero uno copy. What's the word for copy, Jose?
Copia. Una copia.
So, Jose, are you getting this one too? Is this an automatic click?
I don't know if I would buy that, but I really love Beach Boy Loves You. I think it's top 3 Beach Boys albums.
I just got that a month ago. I finally found a decent used copy.
It's
they're really you don't see them. That and I don't know, Sunflower. You don't really see them as much, but I mean, could be interesting, but it just, you know, I don't know. It's just,
you'll wait for it to go on sale. It's $124.98.
Yeah,
it'll probably end up being about $54.95 at some point. That's
if it's ever $50, if it's ever $50, and I'm like, you know what, I want to hear.
They still have sale on Sailor in stock, so I don't think anyone's running it.
Is it You Discover? Is it You Discover?
Yes.
Well, it's already sold out, guys, on the Beach Boys website. I did read that. So the diehards are already.
Our artist websites usually get a limited amount.
Oh, they're with that theory.
Do they get the unwarped ones or the warped ones?
That's a great question. We need to get to the bottom of that. Let's put that on the show notes. Artists, they get the best QC. They get the lowest numbers. Do they get the lowest numbers?
The cool thing about that box set is that they're releasing for the first time the unreleased Brian Wilson adult child record, where he thought, that he could write songs for Frank Sinatra that's sort of easy listening, and that stuff was shelved until the box set, but you know.
Here it is. It's seeing the light of day, and Jason
man.
he's already put that pre-order in. He's ready.
Will you treat this like a Dylan bootleg series, Jason? You'll like we won't hear from you for about 4.5 days, and like you'll reemerge. Yeah. That's good. That's cool.
I mean,
he's channeling his inner Brian Wilson. He's not going to leave the bed. He's just going to eat like grapes and dates and listen to this over and over and over. I like it. I like where that's going. Any other current events? I do want to shout out a couple of releases. I actually ordered. It's not pre-ordered. They're available now. You heard us talk a couple weeks ago, or at least I did. A lot of Tony Braxton records are being reissued, at least in the States, for the first time. So friends of the show, Plaid Room, shout out to the homies in Loveland. They got some, and one only had 4 copies left, so I jumped on that one as soon as I can. So the Tony Braxton records are out. A new Megadeth record is coming out. A lot of listening parties at your local record store where you could win an exclusive slipcase if you buy the record from them. And Jose, you ready for this? A potentially autographed poster at your local record store. Check your local listings for the new Megadeth.
I'm not trying to be, just a bunch of hate, but I did listen to one
Hate
song.
Factory.
I did listen to one song from the new Megadeth album,
and it's not good.
It was the shittiest song I think I heard all year last year.
It's
like,
listen,
any genre.
Dave Mustaine is doing a in-store at Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes sold out, Arnaldo. Yes,
he looks really old.
Well, next week's got Dave Mustaine would like a word with you, Arnaldo. I don't know.
Wait, have you seen the video for that song that I'm saying?
No.
It's like they're like at a skateboard park. It's all like young people doing like cool shit, and like, it was super depressing.
Are they wearing Vans? Because that's the sign of real skaters.
It's yeah.
Hey, Chance, on the Tony Braxton, are they going to give this the Tone Poet treatment with like bonus gatefold photos and stuff? Because that would be appealing to me. If not,
Chris, the answer to that is no, and I say that because the prices on these were actually like $30, like reasonable prices. They weren't gouged up to a single discer being $39.98. Now, again, this is friends Plaid Room who price very fairly. Again, not sponsored, but we would love to be sponsored by Plaid Room.
I want to shout out a covers album that I don't know if anybody here would be interested.
Is this a new release or what is this?
Yes, it's a Shushu release. You know Shushu, the band Shushu.
No, but okay.
This band that I have here is a hot sauce from Shushu.
Shushu.
Well, one of the best experimental bands, but they have a release that's called Motherfucking Shoe, and it's Talking Heads, which Psycho Killer, Screaming Jay Hawkins, Throbbing Gristle, Soft Cell, doing Sex Dwarf by Soft Cell, Robin, Daniel Johnston, Coil, and the Runaways, which I think it's a really interesting pick for. But anybody here interested in darky, screaming, sexual sounding songs, covers of those songs that I just said, get that, I guess.
Jose, please post the link in the chat. I know the chat will eat that one up. Anytime.
I mean, it's a nice collection of songs.
Sure. You said I like Daniel Johnson. I'm down with that.
You like Soft Cell, Roy Orbison?
Roy Orbison, yeah, okay.
These Heat. These Heat.
I know these nuts. I know these nuts, but I don't know.
It's the other one. I put the Discogs one. It's a poly. What is it? A poly vinyl release.
Okay, cool.
But
I'd like to recommend something that was announced today.
Do it to it.
Yeah, I put the link in our chat.
Wonderful.
It is volume 2 of the War Child compilation. With, you find it, Chance?
Sorry, listen, this mouse is not responding. It's again, we had to make budget cuts with the salary here, guy. So go ahead. All right.
That Well, I wanted you to show the track listing of all the
Oh,
artists.
hang on a second. He put,
Yeah.
he put in the private chat. I got you. I got you. Hang on. This is when we really need This is when we need Cesar to run the screen behind me. But hang on, I got you. I got you.
The proceeds go to charity.
Coming up. Hang on. We got it. War Child. Tell us. Got it.
There you go. Can you make it a little bigger?
Oh my goodness. This is like I work at McDonald's or something. This is unbelievable.
Well, I mean, or either scroll down so that everyone could see
Supersize it.
the artists that are participating. If you may.
All right. Hang on. I'm trying, Guy. I'm trying.
Click on one of the.
Can you
options.
scroll a little bit slower?
Oh my gosh.
No, not that. Not the T-shirt. The album. Chance.
Unbelievable, guys. This is my first time doing this. Here we go. Hang on.
This would be so much cooler if this is pictures of
There.
Tony Braxton.
There you go. Yeah. And scroll down. I don't know if they have the titles of the songs.
Here's some of the artists. Is this good enough?
Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah.
An incredible lineup of contributors, including Anna Calvi, Arctic Monkeys, Arlo Parks, Rue Aftab, I'm sure I mispronounced that, Bat for Lashes, Be Bad Boop. Is this a real title? Bad Ooby Boot. Oh, man. Beck, I know that one. Beth Gibbons, Big Thief, Black Country, New Road, Cameron Winter, Damon Albarn, Depeche Mode, not Depeche
Cameron
Mode.
Winter, for those that don't know, is the lead singer of Geese.
Dove Ellis, Ellie Rossell, English Teacher, Ezra Collective, Foles, I know them, Fontaine DC, Graham Coxon, Green Tea Peng, Brian Chatton, not Brian, Brian, that's interesting, K Tempest, King Cruel, Nilufer Yanya, oh man, this is like me running an obstacle course verbally right now, Olivia Rodrigo, I know it, Pulp, Sampha, The Last Dinner Party, Wet Leg, and Young Fathers, amongst other musicians, engineers, mixers, and producers.
So when did Volume 1 come out? A long time ago?
It came out for what war was that? It was the Bosnia, I think. Kosovo.
Yeah, so it's like the 90s?
Late 90s, like 99.
Yeah, I remember that
98.
comp.
And there was an incredible line.
Radiohead was on that comp.
I believe also.
Yeah. I know there's many others, but the Radiohead is all I really remember.
So this just came out. So this supports, what did it say? It would say, all proceeds from this album support War Child UK to protect, educate, and stand up for the rights of children living through conflict around the world. Can we consider that like Kindness Corner too? Because we needed some Kindness Corner materials. That's good. Boom. I like it. Well, current events, everybody. I think we did a fine job outside of my my technical misstep. So I'm going to give myself.
You did a great chance.
I needed it. I needed to pick me up. Last thing for podcast proper topic, and this could be tough. That we may run over time on this one, but I think it's a good discussion to have, and I'm guilty of it myself. Are record collectors too critical today? Are record collectors too critical today? So, spoiler alert, my wife, she always does, what are you guys talking about for the show? I outlined this, and she said instantly, didn't even let me get it out of my mouth. Well, of course you are. So, guilty as charged, but I guess it's a question within a question, because if it's yes, which I think everyone will probably agree, I could be wrong, we'll find out, then why? And do we have what grounds are we critical? So I'm going to start with Groove Seeker on this one. I'm just going to ask point blank, are you too critical as a record collector today, Chris?
Only when I'm around you guys.
Oh, no. It's our fault.
I think I think yes. I'll just say yes.
Okay. And do you think, I mean, let's expound on that. I'm going to do my Geraldo Rivera. So yes, but on what grounds do you think we're in the right, or are we in the wrong? Are we too obsessive about something, this hobby that's supposed to bring us joy, to the point where it's kind of like of Mice and Men, and Lenny is squeezing the animal because we're just so consumed with it.
I think that there's a dangerous intersection between being passionate and nerdy, and I think we all have those genes. And I think if you dive into anything, you're going to find pockets of topics that you're going to be interested in and kind of dissect. And I just think it's like the progression of you become obsessed with something and you're into something, like you're going to take it pretty far. I have been trying to reel that back quite a bit because I got a little record burnout over the past couple of months.
Also our
because
fault, probably. Yeah, I know.
No. I only blame myself. But yeah, it's like even just the discussion earlier. Like I get it. It's a fun thing to talk about and dissect and philosophize about, like who's reissuing what and why. But it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. But it's good to geek out on it, and that's what we enjoy doing. So the one thing I am too critical about, will never stop being critical about, is quality issues.
Yes, sir.
Like that's, to me, that's like the biggest complaint. Say it again.
Yeah, quality control. There's make no apologies for being too critical on quality control, Chris. I'm here for it.
It's just shitty. We pay like a lot of money now for records, and they don't come correct, and it's frustrating. So that I'm not going to ever back down from. So.
Jason Rojas, as the president, treasurer, and marketing director of the Kevin Gray fan club, do you think we as record collectors were too critical today? And if so, why? How do we get here?
Let's ask another question. What kind of brushes do you use for your records? Do you use this fine hair? You know?
No bristles here. No bristles here. I use a disc washer, a vintage
or do you
disc.
use one of these bad boys? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, if you have a collection of these, okay.
Oh my gosh! Look at this. This is an infomercial if I've ever seen one. Holy smokes!
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I think you're a little late.
Attacked.
You know, Michael Fremer did a whole video on brushes. how to use
Yeah,
brushes.
but none of those brushes were like, one steps. Let's be honest. You know?
Mr. Fremer, a few years ago, I watched a video. He was showing how his technique on how to apply pressure on using the bristles and using the other type of brush.
Right.
So you're still in content here.
Hang on, that's going to be the thumbnail. Can we?
That's going to be on somebody's.
Oh, that's going to be on a parody video before we know.
That's right.
I might have to make a parody video on it.
That was free,
So I answered your question. So Jason, I have to come back to it. Are we as record collectors too critical today? And
I don't think we're critical enough. Like I gotta Stunty had a comment. Stunty was saying that.
Stunty's been killing me in the chat. I haven't shown them all, but
what else is new?
Right? Guillotine on me tonight. I don't know.
Well, you said we spent too much time talking about Chad, so we should be even more critical. I mean. I'm very critical, as you know. I know that I think I said this during the Vinyl Social Club. I'm very critical about the way it sounds. And I know a joke about Kevin Gray, but nothing, no matter what I've said or the comparison videos, that hasn't stopped people from buying Rhino High Fidelity reissues.
Some would argue that it actually is it's converted a couple sales because. Your fan club, when they hear that you're off of a title, they instantly rush out.
That's not going to stop them, honestly, I just wish people would just, use their ears a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Submit their hearing tests. And that's what I'll do during the Chat Fest. I'll bring a hearing test and we'll measure it, Can
you bring it in a suitcase, like one of those steel suitcases?
We'll have a board,
I like it. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Stunty says the topic is the biggest gaslighting I've ever encountered in the VC. Every VC people should be more critical. And scene. Arnaldo, what do you think? Because, one of the charges that this show takes, one of the shots from critics and fans alike, is we like to complain. And I lean into it because you know what? It's part of this. It's part of how we spend our money. It's part of how we enjoy this hobby. It's part of how we entertain ourselves. Let's just be honest. Because this show is about three things: information, entertain, and complain. T-shirt coming soon to the team store. But Arnaldo, do you think record collectors today are too critical? And if so, why?
I'm going to say just an analogy for all those critics of us being too critical. You go to a fancy steakhouse, you order a steak and you want it medium, and they bring it to you well done. Are you going to send it back, or are you just going to eat it?
Damn, dude.
I love it because I think that's a teacher in itself.
Damn.
Right? And especially I've learned to, when I was buying records in my teens and even before that, seam splits, bumped corners, creases never fazed me. I'll be like, I'm lucky that I found this copy, right? And maybe you guys can correct me. I've been collecting records since the late 70s, early 80s. I didn't get any non-fill. I didn't get records that were scratched outside of the jacket. I feel like back then the QC was much better. So that's why I've adjusted my expectations over the last 5 years differently. At the beginning, I'd say 5 years ago during the pandemic, I was lucky to be able to find something that was in stock, right?
Sure.
So however it came, I was okay. However it arrived, I was okay with it. And then I met you guys.
Oh, it's our fault again. Here we go again. Groupthink ruining everything.
It would it's egg me on. It'd be like, you didn't send it back? You didn't complain? And so then my standard of QC has risen quite a bit, right? It was elevated. And it's all within, when you're buying something that you can't see, that you're not buying it at a record store, that you can't play test and you can't hold it in your hand, then everything becomes a gamble. There's how professional the shipper is. If they showed no care in shipping the record, that pisses me off even more. And it escalates my anger and my level of complaint, because
it's no mystery that Arnaldo's wearing a green shirt like the Incredible Hulk right now. He's that's the color. When he gets those U-line mailers with no padding and no corner protection.
Or the record from bouncing around in the Amazon box just freely without anything. Like the box is 24 by 24 and there's a 12-inch in there. Yeah. It's just bouncing around. So, but that goes also for the audiophile labels. And I think at that level, I even get, it's like the QC, the expectation is even higher. So I'm not forgiving for a MoFi or
being invaded
sounds or a Rhino Hi-Fi that don't know how to ship records, right? And the higher the price point, the higher the expectation on the QC, obviously. So are we too critical? I think I can be, but I've learned to adjust my level of criticism and expectation of quality accordingly. So
Arnaldo, quick comments come to mind. This is Dave over at My Own Devices channel, Modak. Seasoned audiophiles are supposed to be critical. True. I don't know if we've made the grade though. Jason, have we made the grade to seasoned audiophile yet? I know we're aspiring to be seasoned audiophiles, but I don't know if we're there yet. I will say this may be comment of the night. I have to go back to it if I started it or not. Music in the House to bar. So Arnaldo, your analogy was right on the money, but Music in the House says, so when you send back your records, they spit on them.
No, and it's very rare. Okay, the steak is something that steak and a hamburger is something that I will not forgive if you mess up the temperature. right? At my own risk, I'm going to send it back. But my rule of thumb at the restaurant, typically don't complain and don't send food back because you don't know what you're going to be getting back.
I worked in a restaurant in college, guys, and I've seen it. And I would never say it publicly, but it can be a roll of the dice. That's all I'm going to say. Louis Vinyl Latte says, I think with all the advancements in analog hardware like turntables, phono press, etc., allows us to hear into the grooves more than we could 20 plus years ago, which makes us more critical as we hear more. That's a fair call. I think the technology has evolved. Jose, now when I think critical record collectors, I think of John Bong. Do you think we are too critical today? What say you? Oh, sorry.
I think you should be.
You think you should be critical? Why is that?
Well, you're spending money on this, and you should. I think what people should be more critical of is the buying of shit you don't actually want to listen to later on. So in that aspect, I think when some people are not being that critical enough, but I don't know, man. It's just right now the world is fucking on fire everywhere. So I don't, delays and all these things really just don't faze me as much. But I do think that it has helped me buy records with a little more emphasis on what I'm actually getting. Am I going to listen to it more than once? There are records that I love with all my heart that I don't own on vinyl because I listen to them more on the car or just like on YouTube or whatever. But I don't know, man. It's just we are critical of some stuff, but I think you should be more critical of what you buy in the general sense. Because this, let me see how this UHQR sounds like, is not something you want to do in 2026 if you already own the 2025 edition or the 2024 edition or the 2023 edition. I just I don't know, man.
Well, listen, I think a couple things, and then we'll close on this. I always say this: when you're buying a premium product at a premium price, it should come with a premium expectation. And I think while we make a joke about some of these things, I think the criticism comes from a place because we care about what we're bringing in, right? Like I think the days of the frivolous or the escalating price points, it's not like you can take a gamble on something at $60 or more, right? Like you want to be very measured with your spend. And so when it comes to that, I think when, like Chris said, the quality control sucks, you're damn right we should complain about it because that's the only way that it'll get better. And not to say that there's never been quality control issues back in the day and that sort of thing. Of course there were, but I don't think it was a 60 piece that you're spending on something that comes with seam splits, or like Arnaldo said, comes in a really shitty mailer that shows that they're not putting customer service at the forefront of the presentation of what they're selling you.
Well, but I think it goes hand in hand because I think most big labels now have, they have distributors, like a third party distributors. They should be, even if they're going to charge everyone else $1 more, if they have the possibility of putting a nicer mailer, that's great. But again, I just feel that people buy too much shit they're not going to listen, So my suggestion for the beginning of the year, because it's still the beginning of the year, even if it's the 22nd of January, it's still
Happy
the
New
first
Year,
month.
Jose. Happy New Year.
Happy. I'm not gonna be Larry David on this. I think
you got it. That's where I was going.
Exactly, right on the money, Jose. I like it.
But I will say that I think people, hey man, just save those $25 and invite some motherfucker some hamburger. Just that'll be better than spending that on buying the corrected speed version of Kind of Blue. It doesn't add up in you're not gonna listen to it. Or you know what? So I want to tell everyone, hey, it's January. Make a pile of 30 records, 40 records, 50 records, 20 records, 10 records, 5 records, and sell them. Stop buying shit you're never gonna listen to twice, or just because you like the cover. Stream everything before, if you can, if you're lucky that everything is not up on YouTube or Discogs. Stream it, see if you like it, sell all the records you don't need. Because I think it's way better to sell 30 records you were never going to listen to again and buying one expensive one. You'll thank me later. It's just, you're fucking with my business now. What the
Hey, I will say this. So Stunty's been giving me a lot of shade in the comments, but he's replying to a comment. He says, it starts with yourself. The VC is the least self-critical club I'm part of. I would like to come back to know what other clubs you're part of, Stunty, but I think this is kind of what Jason was hitting on earlier, is I think one thing that being critical of the hobby in general has afforded me, let's say, is to challenge some of my belief system of what I used to think. And I think, right, wrong, or indifferent, I think I have been critical to the point where I'm not just buying something just because somebody on YouTube said it, or I'm not just buying something because it's number 17 and I'm a completionist, right? Like, I think, to Jose's point, I think there is a little analysis and a little self-reflection that goes into this, because you don't want to just be throwing money at things just to throw money at things, and then it sits on a shelf unopened and it never sees the light of day until you want to sell it to move something else on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I don't know if Joel buys used records at his store, but anyone, go to your local record store and sell some records you don't listen to, or sell them online or eBay, Discogs, or whatever, and get the actual records you want. I think the problem with reissues, for example, is that I think reissues are essential when the originals are impossible to get. If the originals sound like shit, if the originals are just not out of your budget, that's fine. If you actually like the music and you want to listen to it on the format that you normally consume it at, you should buy it, but don't go buying stuff. That's why I like there are certain labels out there, like I don't know, like Drag City, that they've been reissuing the same quality for every original they ever released since forever. So that's nice. It's like I would say like Cocteau Twin reissues. They've been the same since like the 90s. It's just that's nice, because it means that people are buying it because the music, not because this deluxe edition shit, or whatever. So
well, that's one aspect, but
yeah,
there's also people buy to collect, whether
which
they're
is not bad. It's not
cards, Pokemon cards, or records, or some people collect watches.
Yeah, but that's more with obsessive compulsive disorder than.
I'm not talking obsessive compulsive, but it's some people find joy in collecting, right?
Yes,
and knowing that at some point, one day, I may want to pull out that record that is going to remind me of a certain memory of a certain time, or just because I feel like I want to listen to it. You get rid of it, then you're going to go out and rebuy it if you want to capture that feeling again, right? Or you want to enjoy that moment one more time. So yes, I understand, and I'm starting to evaluate and be more critical of what I buy, in the sense, do I really need this record? Am I really going to listen to it? I have it on CD. Do I really need to own it also on vinyl? Or I have one version of it. Do I need a reissue? So I'm going through that process as well and limiting the things that I buy. But there are certain records that, even though I may have not, I know you listen to your entire collection, Jose, within a year. I don't have all that time to listen to all of my records in a year. But there are records that I haven't listened to in 10 years. I may one day want to listen to it, and I'll never, purge it. I'll never sell it off.
I think, of course there are going to be records you go to a record store and you like the cover, you like what it said, you like something about it. That's, that happens a lot. What I'm saying is, it's like most stuff that you buy should just be what you just said. It's still in the same peril as you actually liking the record. So that, I think it's justifiable.
Yeah, no, I agree. But what I'm trying to say is, even though I won't listen to it for another 5 years, that doesn't mean that at one point I will listen to it.
No, but
you can easily say I can stream it whenever I want to stream it. But if it's something that I bought 20 years ago, I think I'm going to keep it, right?
No, and I get it. But what I'm saying, that's not; those are still in the same category as something you like that you might listen to later on.
There's also the emotional attachment. There's it's kind of like your childhood teddy bear, right? That you're not going to let go of it because, you're not playing with your childhood teddy bear, but if it's in a box in the attic, you won't get rid of it.
Comfort knowing that
knowing that it's still in your house. You may want to pull it out. You may want to give it to one of your children at some point, or your grandchildren, right?
But again, that still is in the same vein as you actually like the record. What I'm talking about is mostly people buying reissues of records they have never even fucking listened to, or just like, oh, I want to buy Rhino whatever, and you buy one of those Steve Martin reissues just because you think you might like it because he's a funny guy,
So what you're saying is you've never bought a title on a whim before.
I haven't for years now.
But that goes back to being critical of your own buying habits, right?
I said that's. I think we all did during the pandemic. Of
course.
I bought what is it? My biggest sin, Muddy Waters folk singer. I think we all did.
No, I didn't. I stayed off that one. But
you know what I mean, Arnaldo? It's just I remember.
I stayed off that one. You guys got the old Warpo Generos. Yeah.
I remember playing and I was like, oh, this actually sounds pretty great. Never listened to it again, and it took me for.
I even bought the MoFi.
Oh
kept
my
it
God.
sealed, and luckily I was able to sell it off because I was
wow.
Why do I need the MoFi when I could buy what's the other version, the Analog Productions? Or I think I may have had it already.
There were two versions.
Yeah, I said, why am I buying this MoFi just because it's MoFi?
Yeah, we all did, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
live and learn.
Now it's time to wake up. I think everyone here has at least a pile of 10 records they could sell for
of course
$20 a piece that you can, and then you can buy that record that's like $100, and you don't even have to, because you're not.
I already contacted one of my local promoters of record fairs in the Long Island area. I need to get a table because I am going to bring a couple of crates that I really need to.
I call it shaping the tree. I think that's any collector, right?
In order to grow.
Because I think your interests and your motivations change through the seasons and through knowledge, accumulation, and your tastes change too. It's like talking about the restaurant analogy before. I'm sure there are things now that you eat, Arnaldo, or anybody that you didn't eat 20, 30 years ago. I think the same extends to your music taste, how you accumulate any kind of physical media. At one point, I got rid of all my DVDs. Guess what I pick up at the thrift store nowadays? DVDs. Like it's again, the motivations. That's what I think is the.
No, it's nice. It's nice to fuel the hobby, but being mindful of yourself, because it's your collection. But so treat yourself with certain respect when you buy the records you buy, because it's just, you're never gonna listen to that. Jason is never gonna listen to that Beach Boy Loves You box set like more than one time in his life.
No
But
way.
if he wants to buy it,
Lies. Shame.
you're never gonna listen to that shit.
So
No
let's wrap up podcast proper with this one, because I thought initially that this was a shot at us, but I think this is a great way to end the segment. Chasing Records, friend of the show, says bunch of quitters. All right, well, let's wrap up podcast proper. We'll get into some stuff in the bonus tracks. Tom, if you're here, bonus tracks just for you. I want to thank my guests. First and foremost, the star of the panel. I think that was in the fine print of the contract. Arnaldo, channel is Fidelios_frequency. Check out his latest video about his final in 2026. Worth it. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Cheap plug. Thanks, Arnaldo.
Thank you. Have a good one.
And then Groove Seeker. It's always a pleasure to have the fastest rising YouTube star from the vinyl community joining us. We used to have that back in the early days of the program, and then we lost a few stars. So fallen stars, maybe some would say, but we have a rising star. Groove Seeker, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Chance. Thanks for having me.
Bonger, man, I don't know what the F-bomb count is up to, but man, it's always a pleasure having you on, and we'll see you in a second here in the next segment as he's playing with more props. Thank you, John Bone.
Thanks for having me.
And then straight from a Carnival cruise ship, it's the man on the move, the one of the biggest Kenny G fans I know. Jason's got something to show us. I know how he likes to wrap this segment. Jason, thanks for joining us. What are you going to show us?
John Bong, just buy it, because they're going to say it's the best version of Fleetwood Mac. I mean,
life is too short to not buy it. That's what you're saying.
Life is too short not to buy every version of Fleetwood Mac self-titled. That's right.
Closer to a one step, right?
Closer to God, as 9 Inch Nails would say.
I think that's exactly what Trent Reznor had in mind. All right.
That's right.
Thanks, everybody. Powerful show so far, guys. I think we are setting all kinds of records. I can't wait to see the analytics of this one, of all the dislikes. The chat is blowing up. Chat, you are the star of the show. Again, some of these comments, amazing. Rob Walker has joined us. It's whenever these UK guys get on here, it's a labor of love.
You know why Rob Walker is still up at what is it? 3 o'clock in the morning?
Is there a pre-order? Rob, is there a pre-order?
It's Harry Styles single. He had to wait up and listen to the premiere of the Harry Styles. Yeah.
By the way, I'm not.
And I think Harry Styles, the biggest guy I know that loves Harry Styles, Rob Walker. You're right.
Can you show Rob Walker's comment? It's awesome.
He's firing. He came in with
it's directed to Ronaldo.
Oh no, hang on. That's right. We're already talking about his proclivity for the X-Files. Yeah. Oh, hang on. This is a shot at your video, Arnaldo. He says, I watched the video, Arnaldo. I sold all my collection.
Arnaldo, how do you respond?
Is this what an influencer does?
No.
That's exactly what Arnaldo was going for, Rob. So you fell for the trap. Yes. That's hilarious. Oh man. Well, guys, interesting topic last segment. Maybe I think that's one we could do multiple conversations on, but I did want to switch it up a little bit, because I think again, inform, entertain, and complain. You're gonna know it by the end of the show, I promise. Now we're in the inform part of the presentation, and I thought it'd be fun, right or wrong, to maybe a public service, but maybe just to kind of talk through, and I'm talking about Discogs, we can talk about other platforms too. What are some of the power names, some of the big dealers, the big sellers? I call it names to know. And again, it doesn't have to be just Discogs, but we talked last show about that jazz collection that came up for sale in Pittsburgh proper, and Philadelphia Music, which is sold over like hundreds of thousands of titles on Discogs, was charged with selling it. I know Chris and I were trading texts that next Friday when that came out about some of the titles that came out. But I'm curious, outside of Philadelphia Music, what are some other big sellers that you've bought from, and what was your experience? I'll start with you on this one, Arnaldo.
I don't buy much from Discogs. I'm very selective. I'm very selective.
Academy on 8th has really gotten your.
Yes, I did. There is one. There's one vendor that I bought something recently from.
Hang on, I got a perfect video. So we got a comment up. Joey Tavares is here. He says, "The more you know." Joey, ready for this? Watch this. We got them all. We got it all. Guys.
What the fuck was that? Like,
Jose, back in the day, Saturday mornings, there used to be this little call it a public service announcement. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't get in the minivan. And NBC would air it with like your Saturday morning cartoons or Saved by the Bell.
What do you call it? What's there's an actual name for that? What is it?
It says the more you know. It was like a lesson, like G.I. Joe.
With the rainbow. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
PSA.
PSA, that's what I said. Yeah, public service announcement. Yes. So Arnaldo, have you found one to share? I see you're studying intently. You got one for us?
No, I think it's called. Hold on, let me look at it. Normal Vinyl UK. I think they misgraded a record.
Uh-oh.
Well, 2 records. They misgraded one of them, and I was not very happy with it. Sent an email. It was clearly misgraded in the sense that, I mean, did you not even listen to it? You could hear crackling throughout the entire record. And they were very quick to refund me and said, we'll get back to you on returning the record. That was over a month ago. And I never heard anything back. So I'm holding on to one of the 2 records that I bought from them. So, yeah, they had quite a few records that I was interested in. A lot of UK 90s kind of stuff that's kind of difficult to get. And that's one vendor. And then we will not mention some of the buyers on Discogs that
yeah, there's been some names. This is more of an exercise of like, who are some of the big heavies in terms of volume?
Yeah, big heavies. Yeah, I really can't really name any. I'm sorry, I'm more of a Instagram person.
What's an Instagram account that you've done?
I've bought from Permanent Records, Lance,
sure.
And pretty much, I want to say 90% the grading is correct, and they'll always work with you. And if there's any issue regarding the grading or regarding the condition the record arrived in, so I think Lance really he's a professional guy in terms of record selling. And yeah, that's what I like to see my records in person.
So I get it. No, of course. Yeah.
I don't do a lot of, I was actually going through my list of purchases, and over the last couple of years, I haven't made that many purchases from Discogs because I'm very selective.
I appreciate that. Jason, same question. What are some of the bigger names that you've purchased with confidence or maybe unconfidence? I mean, maybe it's a big name out there, but you didn't have a good experience. I know last week you mentioned Carolina Soul. That's a big one. Shop out of North Carolina that does a ton of volume, ton of high-end records on eBay. Funk Soul is another one that I deal with. It's actually local to me. They do a lot of volume. What other names are in the know for you to share?
There's a guy that I definitely buy some like blues and jazz from. His name is Jim Lahey. See if I can put it in the chat.
This is on what platform, or do you just deal direct with them?
On Discogs.
Okay.
I bought some stuff in the past. Let me see if I can. Okay, he's there.
Yeah, I've heard this. BK says Carolina Soul's brick and mortar operation is highly disappointing. I've heard the same. I think they put a lot of their thought and muscle into the eBay situation. They probably get a higher return. That's me speculating. I don't know that, but if you see some of these prices, some of these high-end things go for, like they had a group circuit like this. They had the first Dylan mono record, the one with the original track listing. and I was watching it as of this weekend, and it wasn't too bad. It was $150, and next thing I know, when the auction closed again, I missed it. $2,700 is what it closed at. So pretty close. Yeah, pretty close.
So I put like Jim Lahey, he's a good one. Soul Noble is a good one.
Sure. I've heard one from them.
There's one, Big Dog Records.
Oh yeah, Big Dog has quite a few records that I would like to get.
Here's another one, but I mean, this one I kind of find a bit questionable, like CRC Production. Like, he's got a lot of Nigerian, South African records, but the problem with that is that, you know, his grading is suspect.
The kids, the youngs call it sus. I'm learning the vernacular all over again. Sus. I like it. All right. Good share. Look at Jason coming in clutch. I like that. Jose, Mr. Bong, when you buy records online or whatever platform or from whoever, I know the Tomato Lady is a go-to. The Analog Productions website's one of your favorites. Are there any sellers that names to know that you would share with our audience in the spirit of collaboration?
He's on mute.
How did he get on mute?
I'm doing this and I'm working at the same time. So
multitasking. Okay,
I was listening to a master.
Oh no! Hang on, real fast. Young Fluffy is here. He says the Tomato Lady ? Jose.
By the way, is Paul around? His copy of this just got right.
we're doing a deal. Breakfast King of Loyola. We've got a record for you. Jose is ready.
Well, it's his record. He bought it. I just got it.
Oh, he's got to ship it to you. Okay.
Yes.
Real fast for the uninitiated. The Tomato Lady. Real fast primer on the Tomato Lady. Jose, for those who don't know, who is the Tomato Lady?
I bought a record from a poor woman that sells tomatoes at the market in Tijuana.
Just once.
Apparently these motherfuckers thought it was really funny that I got played by this lady.
You didn't even get the record.
No. She said that she got the money that I paid for her, and then she needed money, gas money. So she used every single cent for the car, and then she couldn't ship it to me, and I offer her twice the price I had already paid for her if she shipped it, and she never did. And then I posted the Facebook profile of every single family member from her on the record on the Facebook group. all these motherfuckers are bitches, you know.
Damn, that's some serious cyber activity right there. Wow, like curse on your house and all the family. Wow.
And I literally wrote to his son, "Fuck your mother," like. So
damn, this is stone cold operation here. Shit.
So yeah, but you know what? It's just
hang on, we've got breaking news. There's breaking news, Jose. I wish I had the sound effect for this because it would have been a lot better.
Yes.
Now Kimbo says the Tomato Lady has rebranded to jalapeno pepper.
You know what? I if I ever go to the market where the Tomato Lady sells, I'm gonna I can recognize her because I remember her face. So it would be interesting.
Holy shit!
Yeah, you don't mess around with a man's records and his tomatoes. So there's a.
But you know, it's only happened to me. Well, I did got a weird situation like 2 days ago on Discogs. Well, no, like three or 4 days ago on Discogs. Okay. So I don't know if anybody here knows who Alvaro is. You know Alvaro?
Of course, Alvaro.
No,
mi amigo. Yeah, Alvaro.
Well, he just passed away. His last name it was Peña, was it? Yeah, Álvaro Peña Rojas. He was a weirdo out there Chilean music, and he has a record called "Drinking My Own Sperm." Anyway, so, which is it's a great title, right? It's a great title. So he passed away. So I immediately said, you know what? Fuck it. I saw that record a while like years ago. I'm gonna buy it again, and I bought the record, and I put like an offer. The guy accepted it, and when I paid it, he said, "Oh, you know what? Damn, like this shit is VG. It's not near mint as I put it. So here's your money back." Next day, I see the motherfucker selling the same record. Now it says mint, and it's like $100 more. So I thought that was interesting. The death tax.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
But
I talked about the death
good
tax.
news. It's being reissued. So if anybody wants a copy of "Drinking My Own Sperm," you can buy it right now. You know.
All right. Done.
Or "Mom's Milk, Not Powder." That's another.
Not
great
like you. We're grown ups, motherfucker.
one.
That's gonna outsell Fleetwood Mac MoFi.
I would hope so. I mean, MoFi, if you're listening, we've got a new title.
By the way, look, Stunty's review of the record. It's a terrible record.
Oh no! There's the Rich Little of the vinyl community.
Yeah, he was roommates with Joe Strummer from the Clash. Yeah, and he is the Wesley Willis of Chile. So shout out to him for existing.
Cards, yeah, is this the Wesley Willis of Chile? Fair enough.
Rock and roll, man. You know, if I could go back in time and like see any artist play, just any artist, Wesley Willis would be like top 3. You know.
All right.
But I would have to be like sniffing glue and you know.
Yeah, the censors of Jose has been. We did the F-bomb threshold. The censors are now taking over with what you're saying.
There's Paul. So Paul is here. So hey, I got a record now.
Groove Seeker, save us from cancellation. What are some big volume buyers that you've had good luck with, bad luck with, no luck with? Who are some names out there people should know about?
I'm a little bit in Arnaldo's camp. I don't buy a lot on Discogs for 2 reasons. I do like to see the record, but I also don't want to start another habit because once I get on the Discogs train, it's just not gonna stop. But I will give a shout out because he won't promote his own store, and I think almost all of us have received records from Joel at Static ATX.
Yes.
But at least for new releases, that's where I've been going to for the past several months. So shout out to Joel.
When you get an itch, go to ATX. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. And I can hold it. I will say this, and you know, Jason, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot too much, but you know, Jason sent some interesting posts about misinformation on records that we've seen posted on Instagram by sellers. We don't have to go over those specifically, but I think there's a lot of there's
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
I think there's so many players in the game doing this thing and living off a good reputation that they're getting a little lazy and they're putting up.
Whoa! Shots fired.
You know, they're putting up it's this pressing when it's not, or this is an original when it's not, and just buyer beware, I guess.
I appreciate that. I'll close this powerful segment with a quick line from our friend Vinyl Dreamscape Sean, who asks the question on the top of everyone's mind during the segment: urine drinking or snake biting? Which record is better? Don't know how to respond to that, Sean. Don't know how to respond. But for the question at hand, real quick plug there: staticatx.com. Joel uses Whiplash mailers. He packs with love. He probably, I think my actual parcel I ordered from him smelled like, remember that cologne Davidoff that raises your pheromones? I think he sprayed some Davidoff in there, and I opened it up and I was instantly turned on. It was amazing. So Joel, thank you. But in terms of names to know, obviously we talked about Philadelphia music. Another one, Zion's Gate, which is a shop, I think, out of Seattle. I think it's the same operation. Like what I noticed when I was going back, kind of
Zion's Gate.
Not Heaven's Gate. When I was going back through my purchase history, a lot of the stores I'd purchased from, Josie, Slow Mo, I didn't know I purchased something from them before I went to the Austin show, etc. They had about 15, 20, maybe 25,000 like positive reviews. When you're talking about Philadelphia music, you're like 230,000 transactions. And that's just reviews. Not everyone leaves a review. Boom Service, who was actually at WFMU, I've bought from them before. They've got over 50,000 reviews, so they've done heavy volume. The one I found was really interesting was Collector's Choice Music, which is basically Alliance, if you think about the distributors. And they have, Jose, you ready for this? 359,000 transactions on Discogs, at least reviews. So the other one, I think it was Tom, High Rand District, Records by Mail, which is probably one of the OGs of direct-to-consumer record sales outside of like eBay, maybe even Discogs. That's Craig Mower out of Portland. He's had his operation for a long time. If you can watch it on YouTube, they've done videos of showing his operation, but knows his stuff. So, yes, Jose.
Well, Josie has some interesting records sometimes. So
Josie does, yeah, Josie does. I wish their website was a little bit more updated with the in stock of the high end stuff, because it looks like literally I'll check it maybe once a month, and it's the same titles at least for the last several months. It's kind of disappointing. But
I will say on Discogs, there's one guy. I don't remember his name. I think I've talked about him with Stunty. If he's here to remind me the name of the seller. But I have 50 records that he's selling, like on my want list. And I think that's
one seller.
From one seller, yeah, from one seller, and they're all overpriced. So that was interesting. I was like, oh fuck. So and there's, well, sometimes the records I'm looking for, there's only one pressing of it, or whatever. But yeah, 50. I think that's incredibly horrible.
Let me ask you this: a little slight pivot. If you see let's call it a name store, at least a name you've heard of, Josie. You can talk about End of an Ear is another one I bought from their Discog store. If you see it's a store, do you go and see if they have the same record on their website and try to order it that way? I see some nodding. Is that a common practice?
Yeah. I've done that, especially when I go to Austin, and I do go to End of an Ear and I see what they have.
Sometimes they're posted on Discogs and eBay as well.
Yes. I think pretty much all the records are up on Discogs now that I think about it. End of an Ear, even they're like $2 or $3 records, so it's a nice way to check out what you're gonna buy, because every time I go to Austin, that's now I have to go to ATX, right? But before, when I used to go to End of an Ear,
I like Joel, but I can't go to his store until I hear a review of the bathroom situation, because if he's kind of out there on one of those private 2-lane roads, and like what they call it, nature house, and his bathroom is like a 1-seater outhouse, like Joel, I don't know. So I'm waiting for a real review of the bathroom situation before I can commit to that.
I actually don't know where Joel's store is, like in what part of Austin. Is it North Austin? Or
Jason, can you help us out from a geography situation? Is this like a very rural situation with like
is it close to any other
road, like by some farms? Like, where is this?
It's 40 minutes away from me.
It's 40 minutes away. Okay, well, hang on.
You live very far away, Jason. So
friend of the show, I think it's Steve. He says the bathroom situation is good. It even has a shower. Holy shit, Joel! Spare no expense. I can wash my smelly ass. This is amazing, Joel. I'm there. Joel says we have the best bathroom in town. All right, now we're talking. Let's go.
North Austin has the most amount of HEBs. So That's where you want to go. You know?
Oh no, this is how friendships end. Joel says, "Fuck you, Jason. It's not 40 minutes away. Damn it." One sentence.
It's for the
So
way-
in the next
way
Vinyl
from
Community
him.
Social Club, we'll do a map. You know?
Yeah, listen, that's always a popular segment here. You guys can do that on VC Social Club. Do some mapping and talk about like the ways to get there. Like I think it was one of our highest rated segments when we did it for WFMU. It was perfect.
I think I've told the story before, but when I went to Jason's house last time, I took an Uber, and it was so far away. But well, I fall asleep. I fall asleep everywhere, and Ubers.
This is true. Jose has pronounced narcolepsy.
But yeah, a little narcolepsy in my life. But I was so fucking out of it when I woke up. I was like this next to the driver, and she was like this. And when I woke up, my neck was so bent. It was like amazing, and she was just like, "Don't worry." But
hang on. I think we have a correlation equals causation. Elliot says the new record shop 20 minutes from me has the best bathroom in Fuquay. I hope I pronounced that right, and the highest record prices. So, do you have to pay more in terms of the records to get the cleaner bathroom? This is probably some easy math to figure out. Correlation equals causation.
The bathroom at the old what is it, Rough Trade in New York City was huge. So actually,
my frame of reference, Jose, for Rough Trade is really poor because Arnaldo took me to one in Times Square, and it was like a cheap suitcase with, and Arnaldo was.
It was a cross
riot act about that Cure album they didn't have. So I needless to say, we didn't go back there when I went back last year.
Well,
they have the downstairs now.
Downstairs! Wow.
Yeah, which is much bigger than the upstairs.
Oh, is that where like Barbara Streisand and Olivia Newton?
That's where they have the majority of the used records are downstairs.
Oh, well,
and some other merch and stuff. Yeah, they expanded downstairs.
Do they have a lot of used records? Because before they were like
there's. I haven't been to what they call below, the Rough Trade below. Because it's directly below. It's two separate entrances. They don't communicate, so you have to go exit the store and then go downstairs. But they have a lot more. They have a larger section. I haven't been there in a while, probably a year in the below.
Friend of the show, Gabby, is here, Beatles fan. She says, my record store just relocated to a newer and much larger space. Their old store had a very gross bathroom with the men's bathroom out of order towards the end. They have multiple large, clean ones now. See, that's what I'm saying. If you can't win the bathroom situation, like
I never go to the bathroom outside of my house, but
you're like the guy on American Pie, right? The guy Shitbreak. They said that he would.
No, the first time that I was alone in New York City, when I think I was like 19, 20, and I was alone, and I remember like I didn't go to the bathroom the whole fucking day, and then I went to Lincoln Center, and the guy was like, the bathrooms are so fucking clean, you should go. I was like, all right, and then that's the only time.
Has anyone seen the Seinfeld episode where George is able to name the best public restrooms?
Yeah, he knows. Yeah,
that's a classic.
100%.
Oh,
he's not wrong.
I went to Cats. I remember that, but that's because you gotta wash your hands. But everywhere else, I like that most pizza places in Brooklyn, they don't even have a bathroom for anyone. Just like,
most record stores don't have a bathroom, or at least a bathroom for the public.
Because what happened the other day on the Ingrove, the guy stealing shit.
Oh, Jose, that was a tough topic. We brought that up. We're glad Mike and his new svelte body, he narrowly avoided biting the big one for a Lady Gaga record. It was a controversial segment, to say the least. I'm sure you went back and rewatched it because I know you do rewatch all our episodes you're not on, but it was powerful.
I do sometimes, but maybe I miss the action of
listen. Jason had it. He had it on the phone. We saw the perp. We call him the perp for short for perpetrator, who stole from a small independent record store. And Mike, Mike doesn't have security. He can't afford, Paul Blart sitting there with a Segway to chase down these punks. And Mike, he ran out there. He did a, what was his 40 time? Didn't we clock his 40 time? It was like a 9.8. It was a 9.8 40-yard dash. And then here comes this guy with a car trying to smoke Mike. Unbelievable.
What?
Have they caught this vigilante? Because I think we're gonna take him to the VC Town Square and we're gonna give him business.
I think it was staged.
Whoa! That's high crimes and misdemeanors, sir. I don't know if we can do that.
Subs and views, man.
A stage as Michael Fremer's lasagna video.
Excuse me, that's Mr. Lasagna. We only refer to Mr. Fremer as Mr. Lasagna from here on out.
And you know what? I actually try to Google like what is it? Liver lasagna, and nothing even came up on Google. So I think it's a first for Jews around the world eating liver lasagna.
No, gizzard.
Oh, gizzard. Well, it was liver as well, right?
Get it right. Come on, it's a member of the tribe, Jose. Come on.
Gizzard. Like I've tried a lot of shit in my life, but gizzards are one of the worst things you can eat as a human being.
Stunty has really rebounded. He started the show. He was a man on a mission. He was trying to take a couple of us out in the dais in the chat, and then his questions became more focused, more pointed. And this is actually a good one. What U.S. record shop do you think experiences the most theft? This is a good question. Groove Seeker, do any ones in your orbit or ones you've traveled to, do you think are high candidates, prime candidates for theft? We call that shrinkage in the industry.
Yeah, shrinkage in retail. Yeah. I have a few that I know are vulnerable, and I want to reveal them. Otherwise, it would.
Oh yeah. We're setting up targets. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
No. No, I don't know. I've never heard them complain about it or post, people stealing. I don't know.
Every once in a while in my Instagram feed, I'll see a shop and they have the real grainy, security footage, and they try to catch these people. Kind of like there's some of those social media people who try to like out these really bad characters in other areas of the world, in other instances. Let's say Tizzy, I think, is one I watch on my social media. But anyway, you'll see those videos and they'll show some of these. It's just like Mike did. They're just putting a face to the name.
Infinity has been hit a couple times. Because I see the posting of the infamous security camera video pointing out the person that stole something.
Jason, when you stole records from Static ATX, did Joel press charges, or how did that go?
How was the bathroom?
Yeah, how was the bathroom?
I did not use the bathroom. I did not steal any records.
This is just a chance. This is just a chance thing. Nobody uses the bathroom at record store. It's just a chance trying to go see the extra room they have.
Also, because I think it's harder to steal records. I remember when I worked at Virgin Megastore, they had huge issue with theft of CDs.
Well,
CDs were so much easier to steal.
Oh, sure.
It's crazy.
CDs nuts. What I've experienced
one show where he doesn't.
What I've seen happen a lot is that even like at HEB is that people go in with their tote bags and they put shit that they want to buy immediately, and sometimes they're just like, well, I didn't want anything else, and they just walk out. So
Well, there's some smaller record stores that ask you to check in your bag. When you
Amoeba in LA does that. Yeah. We're going to do a video. Hopefully the show and tell. Joey Tavares has given us a link. It's a 2-minute little segment. Let me put this up and we'll play it for the folks at home. This is a thief steals $2,000 worth of vinyl records. You ready for this? Hang on. I'm going to make it big. Hopefully I don't get hit with a copyright. Let's play this guy real quick.
Thief that made off with dozens of vinyl records at a Tiger vintage store on Saturday. It all happened.
Is that Prince?
A vintage store. It's not a record store.
Spoke with a vendor at the vintage mall about the hundreds of dollars worth of records that were stolen.
Right now, I'm inside of Curiosity's Vintage Mall, which is located off of Southwest Main Street in Tigard. They host more than 40 vintage vendors. One of them is Greasy Car Vintage right behind me here. And on Saturday morning, their surveillance cameras caught an individual who clearly came in with a plan in mind.
This is by far to the largest extent of anything being taken from here.
It wasn't sweaters or CDs that lured a Greasy Car Vintage Saturday morning.
They came in with a plan. They had a bag ready to go.
Owner Chris Chassis shared this surveillance video of the thief walking through the doors at 10:30.
That's why you can't have women in the VC. They're all thieves. See?
Started grabbing fistfuls of records.
Oh my
Came around the
gosh.
backside again. Could just see the higher price up here. Just started picking the expensive ones right off the wall. I was guesstimating around 60 or so.
The thief covered the full bag with a jacket and made a beeline for the door, but not before another vendor took notice. A struggle before the thief drove away, nearly running over the vendor.
It was a little bit of disbelief because it was a lot of merchandise, and that bag by the time they left was probably pretty darn heavy.
And the loss of such valuable vinyl?
New and used, some collectible, some harder to find. It's gonna be probably $1,500 to $2,000, maybe a little bit more.
Since the thief grabbed a disposable mask when they walked inside, it's hard to see a
mask,
clear
I
image
knew
of
it.
their face.
The way they entered the building and simply knew where to get items when they came in, they didn't enter like this was a foreign territory. So this could have been set up for a while. I don't know.
Chassis is grateful no one was hurt, but a hard hit right after the holidays always dims the lights for a small business.
We're fine. We'll be fine. It's just, everybody in here is a small business. Everybody works really hard. So it's a hit. It's a kind of a rough way to start the new year.
Chassis tells us he submitted all of this information to the Tigard Police
Is it a
Department. He
treehouse
reached out to them,
logo
and they tell us at this point they don't have any updates on this investigation. It is still ongoing, and they don't yet have word on this suspect. Reporting in Tigard, Carly Olson, Fox 12 Oregon.
Thank you, Carly.
All right, I'm gonna have to head out, but
did that give you some ideas of potential theft and that you can put a mask on and then it inspire you to conduct your own situation?
send me the address of that place, right? In Oregon.
Right. You don't know if they have a great bathroom or not.
Well, that probably, if they had a great bathroom, she probably wouldn't have stole from them. Like, again, causation with correlation every time.
The other day while I was having breakfast, there was a YouTube video about the top 10 best bathroom at restaurants or whatever on YouTube. So I'm pretty sure Chan's seen that one. There's like a Trader Joe's or some shit like that.
Chance, can you put up decoy cards?
Decoy cards, yes. And please, friends of the show or enemies of the show or haters or whatever, hit that dislike button. It really does help. I did have to hit that. So yeah, decoy cards. I'm looking for your comments. Here we go. Got to put empty sleeves out and the records and cabinets like GameStop does.
Well, that is a practice that they use in the UK. In London, so many shops had only the record sleeves out.
Yeah, Reckless does that. I know they do it over there, and they do it in Chicago.
Flashback does that. I think almost all of them.
A couple stores in Boston do it too.
I think it's a good idea when you have wall records, so they don't put them down or whatever. They don't.
Yeah, but every single record in the bins was only the cover. Like not Sister Ray, Flashback, Reckless, Sister Ray, all of them.
All right, I'm gonna leave now because I have to do some stuff here. But
all right, Jose, always a pleasure.
Have a good night.
We're gonna follow you out the door.
Night, Jose.
Yeah, I think bringing up the tomato lady was a triggering thing, and I understand it probably took an emotional toll on.
Well, you want to hear the funny thing? We never found out what record it was he got.
We're not going to know what record it is. We're not going to know.
Was it some Cholito record? I don't know.
No, he finds those on Facebook Marketplace. Those are always a good Facebook Marketplace story where he drove like 80 miles out, and it's wow, unbelievable. Well, yeah, you hate to see theft and thievery. And again, I know we joke about Mike sometimes, but I'm glad he wasn't hit. That would have been really.
Yeah, that would have been.
That would have been bad. Like we, believe it or not, we wouldn't have made fun of that. I know it's hard to believe. No. We make fun of everything, but we wouldn't have made fun of Mike getting hit by a car. But Frank asks, Concert Buddy, can you do a cheap heat segment sometime soon? Yeah, why not? We're probably due for one. Yeah, actually, I don't know if I talked about it on the show. I donated some canned goods over the holidays to one of my locals, and in return, it was for like, the food pantries or whatever. And in return, they gave me like some store credit. That wasn't why I did it, obviously, but like $4 or something like that. So I'm like, I'll hit the dollar bins. And I haven't hit the dollar bins in this shop in a long time. And I actually found some okay stuff. It wasn't that bad. I found Lionel Richie that you don't need a $90,
Dancing on the Ceiling?
It's Can't Stop or what? Yeah, no,
Can't Slow Down.
Yeah, Can't Slow Down. So again, 99 cents. I found some Crystal Gay, or is that her name? Crystal Gay? Crystal Gale, a MoFi. So if anyone would like to make me an offer on that one, I'm accepting offers. And then
give me $1 for it.
$1.
How about you give me $1? I'll take it all.
Whoa. I mean, listen, there is gold in them hills still, but it had been a long time. I think when I first started collecting years ago, their dollar bin used to be really good. I remember pulling some really nice stuff.
This is what? A thrift store?
No, this is one of my locals, Euclid Records, and I'll just say it.
Oh, and you could donate canned goods there?
Well, they were just doing stuff for food pantries, and so they were kind enough to invite me to their holiday party. And so when I came, I noticed they were doing this food drive. So I'm like, oh yeah, I can go and get some canned goods and run it by. And then when I dropped them off, they're like, oh yeah, now you get some. How many did you donate? X. Okay, here's some store credit. Yeah, it was nice. So I was like, I haven't been in the dollar bins in a minute. So I did get Olivia Newton-John Greatest Hits Volume 2. I did not have that one.
Volume 2, nice.
That's with Physical and all the 80s blazers. So yeah. So again, it was kind of fun going in the dollar bins, and this kind of, I got a couple of you know who ZZ Hill is? ZZ Hill is like a soul kind of music. Jason knows.
It's like a blues singer.
Right. Yeah, he had a couple of decent albums. He's like a dollar bin all-star, but again, it was kind of fun. Yeah. Anything else, guys, before we conclude another game-changing segment? This presentation, I think we're probably going to get taken down by YouTube for multiple violations, the least of which is showing a news report on thievery on someone else's channel.
No, nothing to add.
Guys, it's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. We'll do it again next week. I want to thank everyone in the chat. You are the lifeblood of the program. I think I didn't make too many mistakes. Groove Seeker, final bong, F-bomb count. Do we have a total? Hang on, I got to hit the drop for this. Hang on, I have a...
Considering he came late, ended early, and Stunty protested one of the F-bombs, but the judges said counts. We got him at 17 tonight.
17 F-bombs. Oh, lovely. Well, guys, one more show closer to retirement. The Show of Records, Talking Records. Actually, quick cheap plug. So this is technically coming up on, we're closing, this is the 3rd year of Vinyl Community Podcasts here at the end of January. So I don't know how many people who watch partake on the podcast part, hopefully some. We're doing a little bit of a refresh, maybe a little Surface Noise refresh in part with that. We're kind of diversifying and making Surface Noise its own little engine that could or can't. So look for that next week. Kind of fun stuff. And I know that's a big, probably overdrawn way of saying we're getting some new logos and some new intros, but hey, it's good to see. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. Hit that like button or dislike button on the way out, and we will see you next week. Peace.